What's up, with you? For today's video, with a full Deoxys Forms team. 7 years ago, I did this team, and I think it's about time for a little revamp. I'll be using each of the Deoxys Forms. The thing I like about the Deoxys Forms is they look cool in their designs, and they've got all different stats, making them my favorite mythical Pokemon. They've all got the ability Pressure, which is kind of meh, but they've got some cool moves, and they do some pretty cool things in battle. I've got 5 battles today with the Deoxys team, and so I hope you enjoy. I'm sorry I've not uploaded for a couple of days now, but if you're hyped for the theme team return, make sure you drop a like and tell me what is your favorite Deoxys form and why. We have a battle here. This one is on the Poke Portal. I'm not sure of my opponent's name. We've got a Smeargle lead. Now, this is my Deoxys speed form. It's a pretty interesting set. So I've got in this one a Psychic Terrain, Expanding Force, Focus Miss, and Ice Beam. My Terra is going to be Ice, and my item is going to be Terrain Extender. Now, this Deoxys doesn't do a lot of damage. Its stats aren't like super offensive, even for its form, right? Its best stat, offensive stat is its attack and special attack, which are only 95. So it's mainly best role is there usually to set up any entry hazards or any status or any sort of terrains on the field and do a little bit of damage. So Smeargle's going to be swapping out there. We've got a Moody Smeargle and we've got a Kyogre coming in here. Now, obviously, I'm only using 4 Pokemon, which is a good challenge for this team because I had some, pretty good sets. So I'm going to go for Expanding Force on Kyogre. Kyogre has a lot of special defense and it's quite bulky, and it's going to go for Thunder for some reason. I thought it would go for a water type move. Maybe they were predicting a Terror or something like that. So I'm able to get another Expanding Force off here, but Kyogre is going to be able to live that one, and it's going to be eating a berry. So it's not the usual Choice Scarf water spout set. It had a Iapa berry too. So now it's going to go for Ancient Power. They're going to try and get a boost, I guess, and Deoxys is going to faint. Maybe they only had Water Spout as their water attacking move, and they were scared that it wouldn't faint me, obviously taking more damage. So we're going to go into our next Deoxys here. Now, this is a PIMPNITE special, one of my favorite Deoxys sets I come up with. We got a Counter, Mirror Coat, Psycho Boost, and Superpower set. I've got Focus Sash as the item, and the EV spread is pretty cool. So this is Deoxys attack form. I've got max special attack, and I've also got max speed, so naive nature. Sometimes I like to go max attack and max special attack naive too. So it's really fast and hits very hard. So in comes Barraskewda. It's going to outspeed me with the Swift Swim. I've got the Focus Sash, and I'm going to go for counter here too on Barraskewda, and that is going to be obviously more than enough to take it out. However, it's got a Focus Sash as well, so it's a double sash matchup here. Now, the funny thing is the rain stops, and now it's going to lose its speed. Since the Psychic Terrain is on the field, it won't be able to use anything like Aqua Jet, and I think that's pretty good for the Deoxys because they are very frail Pokemon, especially Deoxys attack and Deoxys normal, and even Deoxys speed isn't like super bulky either. So in comes the Smeargle. They go for Burning Bulwark. I was like, oh, I went for Superpower. So I don't think they predicted a physical move because I hadn't actually shown one yet. I think they were just trying to stall out the Psychic Terrain, but they pretty much lucked out there and took my Deoxys out with a burn. But if they were anticipating a physical move, then props to them. But I feel like they were just stalling out the Psychic Terrain there and lucked out. So it's going to get a Moody boost on the special attack. It's going to get a speed drop too. Now I'm going to go into next Deoxys. It is Deoxys normal here. I love Deoxys design. I love it shiny too. So this is an Extreme Speed, Drain Punch, Zen Headbutt, Fire Punch set. I've got Expert Belt and Max Attack and Max Speed. My Terra is Terra Fighting. So my sets are probably a little bit better than what they normally are. So I try to mix in some memes and a little bit of better set. The thing about Deoxys though, you have to go quite offensive on it because they're very frail, right? So my opponent was good enough to actually bring 4 Pokemon, which is kind of rare for random battles, and they've got the Ogerpon Wellspring. So I'm going to be going for a Terra Fighting here, and I'm going to be trying to get as much damage as possible. With the Expert Belt, it does a enormous amount of damage. So the nature on this Deoxys and the build, so this is Jolly Nature, of course, and Max Attack and Max Speed. Expert Belt is the item, and I found with the spread of Drain Punch, Zen Headbutt, and Fire Punch, I got some pretty good use out of Expert Belt Belt, and my opponent didn't really know what item I was running. Now, you could go for Life Orb as well, or maybe even Heavy Duty Boots. There's some other good items to go for, but I found this one worked pretty nicely. So we got the Wellspring, we got the Terra here, because I hadn't Terra'd yet, and obviously they're going to be a water type. Now, I knew that I wouldn't be able to one-shot this Pokemon, and it's also going to get a boost there on its special defense, which doesn't really matter in this case. I'm going to go for Drain Punch here, Terra Drain Punch. Obviously it's neutral and does very, very good damage, but I know that, you know, even with all that sort of damage to the Ogerpon, they're probably just going to one-shot me anyway with, you know, the signature move. So here comes Ivy Cubgirl, and, you know, obviously Deoxys is not going to live that. It's very, very frail. It's only got like, what, 50 base in defense and special defense and health. So it's a frail Pokemon. So you really got to go for it with a hard attacking moves. Next Pokemon, speaking of not frail Pokemon, is Deoxys D. I think Deoxys D is my favorite Deoxys, or Attack one. They're both really, really cool. But yeah, tell me what your favorite Deoxys is. So now we got the Ogerpon going for a Sword Dance here. Now this is a pretty cool Deoxys set. So this Deoxys has got Recover, Stored Power, Cosmic Power, and Meteor Beam. So this has got the item Power Herb, this has got Max Health, and it's also got Max Special Attack Modest Nature. So I didn't go like full, like bulky with this. I gave it Max Health, but that was it. I wanted to be able to do some actual damage. They're gonna go for Knockoff, but since I actually used Meteor Beam, it got rid of my item, which enabled me to actually live the Knockoff, which is pretty wild there. And that's gonna be the end of the battle. That is the end. Oh, it was Joestar. Sorry, I thought it was another opponent. Thank you, Joestar, whoever you are. If you ever watched this video, leave a comment there. Thank you for the battle. Thank you for bringing 4 Pokemon to that. Made it really cool. Next battle, this one is against Mikey, and we have a Tentacruel lead. Now, in the team preview, I noticed this is probably the least threatening Pokemon to my team, which is probably why they led with it, just to see what I was going to do. So I'm going to pop that Psycho Boost. I'd say that would have probably just been some sort of Toxic Spikes lead or Rapid Spin, something along those lines. However, it's going to get wrecked in one shot. Next Pokemon to come out is going to be Flygon. Now, at this case, I was like, well, I could go for Super Power, but I think I'm going to go for Counter instead. But they went for Bug Buzz, so it's a special Flygon. I like Flygon's, like, I don't know, it's like its flying model there. It looks really cool. Counter's going to fail, obviously, so now I'm going to go for Super Power, and that's going to be almost enough to take out the Flygon. So I was a bit unlucky there. They're running a special set. You know, Mirror Coat would have easily fainted that, but that's all good. Deoxys did some pretty good damage there. Took out Tentacruel and seriously did a lot of damage to Flygon. Now we're going to bring in Deoxys normal here, and I can just finish this off with the extreme speed, which is going to be you know, pretty easy to do. Flygon's got some good speed, but it really has nothing on Deoxys. Deoxys has like very, very interesting stats. Like they're either like, you know, glass cannon or like quite tanky with Deoxys, and sort of speed is really fast and has a little bit of bulk to it. So they're going to bring a Blaziken. Obviously, they're going to go for a Protect and Speed Boost here into trying to like outspeed me. One Speed Boost is absolutely not going to be enough to outspeed Deoxys. It's a very, very fast Pokemon. So now we've got a Terra. I was like, okay, I wonder what Terra we're going to be going into today. And we've got Terra Flying. So I was like, all right, that's fine. Pretty much any neutral move from a Blaziken is you know, most definitely going to take Deoxys out for sure. It's not very tanky. I got to send Headbutt off, and now they're going to go for Bulk Up. I was like, ooh, I think it's going to be pretty close for the extreme speed damage. And obviously now it's not going to be Stab, so even with that, you know, with that leftovers and then another round of Protect, obviously they're going to go for that again. I'm not sure. I think it's going to be quite close. I still think they're running like probably Max Attack and Max Speed EVs, but they're sort of relying on Protect to get, I guess, some health back there. So I'm going to go for Extreme Speed here. I don't think they're going to try and go for Double Protect. That's going to be like way too risky, and any move is pretty much going to take me out here. Extreme Speed doesn't faint like I thought, and here comes Brave Burst. Like, that's pretty good. It's going to be a double KO here. So Deoxys is going to go down, and so is the Terra Flyer Blaziken. I guess they figured that I've only got 4 Pokemon, so they may as well just go for it. They've got a very good advantage already for me only having, you know, 2 less Pokemon. So now I'm going to go into Deoxys Speed. Now, I'm thinking about what I should do here, and we've got the Executor coming out. So there's not a lot I can do to Executor outside of Ice Beam. I've got Terra Ice, but I don't know if I want to use it yet. So I went for Ice Beam, great damage on Executor, almost taking it out. Unfortunately, Executor's got some reasonable bulk about it, and, you know, Deoxys speed, it doesn't really have the most amazing offensive stats. Like I said, it's 95 on its attack and special attack. That's it. So it's going to go for Leech Seed. They're going to try and see me. I'm assuming this is going to be some sort of Harvest Citrus Berry set with Leech Seed. It may have Protected, may not, but I know that I can take it out with another Ice Beam. However, they're going to swap out, and now they're going to go to, I'm not sure if this is some sort of theme team. This is a random opponent, by the way. I have no idea, but I don't know if it is, so let me know if you could figure anything out there. So they're going to go to Electivire. Electivire's going to have its Balloon Pop. Now, I know that I can do some decent damage here with Expanding Force, but I thought, well, look, I could set the Psychic Terrain up and try and set up my last Deoxys, which is going to be Deoxys D. So I decided to do that instead. I wanted to see if I could clutch this battle with just Deoxys D, and it was a little bit of a meme set too. So they're going to go for Wild Charge. Interesting enough, Deoxys actually lives that. It does have a reasonable amount of bulk to it, I guess, like 90 on each side in defense and special defense. So unfortunately, and luckily for them, I'm actually going to fake to Leech Seed, because I could have gone for Expanding Force there, which would have taken out Electabuzz. So my last Pokemon is going to be Deoxys D. I'm still staring down 3 more Pokemon to feint here. Now, I know that Deoxys can handle this Electivire, no worries. It's very, very bulky initially, and what I'm going to try and do here is get a couple of Cosmic Powers up. Now, I've got Meteor Beam. I don't want to use that at the moment. I want to actually save that for Executor, and if I start using stuff like Stored Power, this is a bulky Stored Power set, that's going to draw out the Executor, which I'm hoping for, and then I'm going to try and finish it with Meteor Beam so it can't, like, you know, heal off with Harvest and stuff like that. So this Deoxys D was a special attacking set, so it was modest nature. So I was making use of its great 160 base in defense and special defense and max health, and I thought I could try and make like more of a sweeping one, or bulky sweeping one. So they tried to go for a scumbag freeze there with Ice Punch, and Electivire is going to feint to Stored Power. So that's where the Psychic Terrain come in to try and boost a little bit more damage. So as I knew, they'd swap in their Executor here, and that's going to be perfect because I'm going to go for a Terra Rock. Now, Terra Rock really is not a good Terra to run on Deoxys. This is more of a meme set, and it worked pretty well. I just wanted to see it be funny if I could boost the power of Meteor Beam, you know, and try and get some KOs. So I'm going to go for that Meteor Beam. I've got that Terra Rock going there, flowing nicely in space and time. We got that special attack boost too. I guess the bad thing about this is if you do miss too. And funny enough, a lot of times when I use Deoxys D, the opponents would use knockoff, and I wouldn't have an item. It wouldn't do as much, which is pretty good. Because most of the time you'll find it's running something like, you know, leftovers and stuff like that. So that's the end of the league. Executor, like I knew it would be. Last Pokemon is going to be Goodra Hisuian. Now, this thing is going to resist my Psychic move, but I thought, you know, with enough of these Cosmic Power boosts, and I might even be able to go for Meteor Beam again. I might be able to beat, I should be able to beat this, right? However, they've got Flash Cannon, and they've got a lucky special defense drop on the first one, which is kind of bad luck. So what I'm going to have to do here, I'm going to need to get my recovery back, and I'm going to have to use Cosmic Power. So here comes another Flash Cannon, obviously their best move. It's super effective, and they got another one, so getting like crazy lucky there, 2 back-to-back. So this is putting a lot of pressure on my Deoxys D at the moment. I cannot attack. There's no way. I'm going to have to probably keep healing and try and get some Cosmic Powers up. So I just went like for like a raw Cosmic Power there. I didn't want to go for a recover. I couldn't take any more risks. They were getting like super lucky. So here comes another Flash Cannon. Deoxys is going to be able to live that just due to its pure bulk, and I've got -1 in special defense at the moment, so I really have to fix that, right? So obviously Recover only has 8 PP too, so I've got to be very smart when I use these moves. So now the Goodra is going to go for Shelter. So okay, Shelter. There's only one reason why they'll be using Shelter. It's they've got Body Press. So they're going to try and increase the defense, because Body Press is still going to be super effective too. Like I said, Terra Rock really wasn't a great Terra to run. This was definitely like a meme set. So they're going to go for Body Press. It's going to do donkeys, which is good because I've still got those defensive rises. Like, they weren't dropped like the special defense. So I'm just basically at this point spamming Cosmic Power because they're going to still add to that stored power boost, you know. I did lose the Psychic Terrain, but that's okay. I'm going to get as many boosts as possible. The only thing about Meteor Beam I could get a special attack boost, but I've got to wait 2 turns. And at the moment, it's a little bit nasty with how many boosts this Gudra is going to have. And if they get a lucky crit or, you know, start getting more lucky flash cannon special defense drops, I'm going to be in a lot of trouble here because Gudra resists like both of my moves. So I'm going to get another Cosmic Power. What I tried to do, I tried to get like 6 Cosmic Powers up here, as many as I possibly could, because, you know, this Gudra is like really, really loading up those shelters. So I had to hit really hard. So I'm going to go for my final one here. I got a special defense rise, making up for that one before. I was like, maybe I should attack now. So body press is doing a good amount of damage to me. I was like, I have to start attacking. Stored power does great damage there. It's a 3-hit KO after the leftover recovery. So I have to go for recover here. I can't go for stored power because the next one is going to fame me. So I don't know whether this thing's got any forms of recovery. It's used shelter, it's used body press and flash cannon. So I don't know what its other move is there, but obviously, I'd say it's probably a dragon move or something that is not going to really be that great against Deoxys. So, more leftover recovery. I'm in range now. I'm going to go for stored power. Great damage, almost taking out the Gudra. Gudra is going to go for its final body press, and that is not going to cut her. And that is going to be the end of the game there. We got a salty cancel on the very last turn. I don't know why they just didn't play the battle out. It was a great battle. But anyway, thank you for the battle, Mikey. If you ever see this video, so it's actually quicker just to, to let the opponent attack because stored power's got a very fast animation. Anyway, good battle there, and really stalled out the Hisawane Gudra at the end there. But the Deoxys D meme set works very, very well. Next battle here, we got an Among Us lead. I'm not sure what my opponent's name is. However, that's going to be the end of their Among Us. I guess they sort of just, I guess they wanted to see what my Deoxys would do, sending that out. So we got a Snorlax coming in. I guess they expected me to maybe swap or use Psycho Boost again and do like little damage, but they probably didn't expect me to be a mix set. Like Deoxys can run very nicely as a mix set. It's got very, very high offensive stats and great speed. So sometimes you can put it back a little bit off on its speed EVs and it still works fine. So now we're gonna have Encore Snorlax. That's not gonna work. I guess their plan was to try and Encore me into Psycho Boost. Maybe they were gonna go for Belly Drum or something like that, or Curse, or some sort of setting up. But anyway, Deoxys is completely destroying them at the moment. Now I'm gonna swap out because I've got a superpower drop and a Psycho Boost drop, so I maybe save that for a little bit later. But this Dragonite come out and it threw a spanner in the works, that was for sure. So it's gonna go for Dragon Tail. I was like, okay, I thought they may try and set up a Dragon Dance. So it phased out my Deoxys speed, and now we've got the Deoxys normal coming in here. So Deoxys normal can't do too much here. I actually want to save that too, because that's kind of like the Deoxys I pretty much use to beat the opponent like mid to late game. It's very, very good. Does a lot, it has a lot of attacking presence about it, so it's very hard to stop. So now the opponent's going to go for Terra Dragonite here, and it's going to be Terra Dragon. I was like, okay, well, they've only used Dragon Tail so far. Do they have another Dragon move? I don't know, like, what are they doing? So they're going to go for Dragon Tail again. So I'm a little bit bamboozled at the moment what this whole set is about. Deoxys speed just lives that one, and it's going to be phased out. It's like, okay, have they got any other attacking moves, or is it just Dragon Tail? So I took a risk here. I knew it was a very risky play, so I went for Counter. Now, Counter always goes second, apart, obviously, if the opponent uses a negative priority too, and it's going to go second with Dragon Tail, so my Counter is not going to work. So obviously, my speed was higher as well. I had a stash in the back there. I just wanted to see if they had any other moves. I had a feeling they did. I don't know why they kept using Dragon Tail for you. Obviously, it was effective, right? So I was like, all right, well, something has to give here. I've got to take this Dragonite out. So I've got my Deoxys D. I can't really set up my Cosmic Powers either. There's no point go for Meteor Beam because it's just going to go Dragon Tail again. So I think I might have to sit this one out and just let Deoxys take the attack and at least break its multi-scale and maybe try and use it later on. So we're going to go back into Deoxys normal here. I just got to get some damage on this thing. I'm thinking, well, Deoxys speed does have Ice Beam, and Zen Headbutt missed there, which really, really sucks, and it's got Hurricane. So that was one of its other moves that dropped me as well. So like, damn, this is very, very bad. So now I'm going to go into my Deoxys speed, which only has 4 health left. I don't know whether it's got extreme speed or not, but it's kind of weird that it hasn't used it yet. So in general, it's kind of a weird set. So I'm going to go for a Terra Ice here. I'm hoping no extreme speed comes out because I'm going to be in a world of pain if it doesn't have that. So we got Terra Ice, Deoxys, and I'm going to outspeed. So that's going to be pretty nice. Unfortunately for Dragonite, it's not 4 times anymore, but with the multi-scale broken, and that was enough to obviously take it out, which is good. So that's the end of the Dragon Tail Dragonite. Maybe it was like a bulky set. I don't know. That Hurricane, it was hard to judge the damage because, Deoxys is like paper thin, right? And Hurricane one-shot. So in comes the Ninetales. I'm going to go for Expanding Force. I know they're going to go for Veil already, so I just did as much as I could, and I'm just going to keep hammering this Ninetales with damage, So I'm going to go for Expanding Force again. Obviously, it's still going to do like nothing now, so it's going to be probably having Moonblast or Blizzard. Moonblast is going to faint my Deoxys speed. So I've got 2 Deoxys left, and I've got a Aurora Veil on the field. So I either need to get rid of that Veil and stall it out, or I just need to swap in my Deoxys and do recover a couple of turns. So I know that Ninetales can't really touch me here. It's not going to have enough like offense, except maybe if they freeze me. So I went for a cover. And I was just trying to get rid of this Aurora Veil because it makes the Pokemon so bulky. Now, the swap here we're switching is going to be the Glimmora. So I guess they did something Gita couldn't, right? So they left the... Wait, they did it. They left it to last. They did a Gita. So we've got the Meteor Beam here coming. I just tried to go for some boost there and special attack. And I got that boost. And I know that it's not going to do a lot to Glimmora, but I've got stored power, right? So that should do a pretty good amount of damage over time. So Glimmora is going to take that, obviously, extremely well. And the best move they got is Power Gem. I thought they might try and, poison me or some sort of status move there. That's going to be the end of the snow. And I went for stored power, and that was enough to take out the Glimmora. So that's Glimmora gone. The last Pokemon left is going to be the Ninetales. They only brought 5 Pokemon. I guess I brought 4, so I'll just bring 5 along too. They're going to go for a final Moonblast here. Moonblast is not going to do donkeys. They do get a lucky special attack drop there, but with Ninetales being on such a low amount of health and already having like a boost in special attack, that is going to be enough to take it out, and that is the end of the battle. That was a very, very weird Dragonite set. I don't know what they were going on with there. Dragon Tail and Hurricane. Next battle, I'm not sure what my opponent's name is. Maybe someone can translate those. We have a Kyogre lead. So Kyogre is a pretty scary Pokemon, and I thought, you know what? We're just going to play this like a fiddle. So we're going to go for the Mirror Coat here. Obviously, it's going to go for Water Spout. I totally never saw that one coming. So even an Origin Pulse, whatever, we beat Kyogres easy with this Deoxys set. So bye-bye Kyogre. It was nice knowing you. Now we've still got a Psycho Boost up our sleeve or a Super Power. So usually my Deoxys set that I made, this one here, usually it can get 1 to 2 KOs, unless it's like drastically counter like yours truly with Mimikyu. So Mimikyu is actually a pretty good counter to a very, very good counter to my team because they've got super effective priority and they've got a disguise to hide behind. So my first thought here is I need to get Psychic Terrain up. I have to get that going because that's going to block any priority moves. It is going to block my extreme speed, but at a cost of blocking the Shadow Sneak is going to be pretty nice. So I'm going to go for Expanding Force. That's going to break the Mimikyu's disguise. And the next one should do a really good amount of damage. I don't know whether they've only got like 1 ghost move or 2, but my question was pretty quickly answered there. So unfortunately now I've lost 2 of my Pokemon. I had to pretty much almost sack 2 Pokemon there to Mimikyu. So it's almost a 2 versus 5 battle now. So Deoxys, my normal one, is going to come in here. I have to go for a Terra here. So I thought if I go for Terra Fighting, that'll at least be resisting that. And then I can go for Zen Headbutt with this Psychic Terrain up, which will do a lot of damage. So here comes the Shadow Sneak. That's going to get blocked by the Psychic Terrain, which is good. Zen Headbutt is going to land, and Mimikyu lives. I was like, what? How did that live? And it turns out you wouldn't read about it. It had a focus panel. Oh, come on. So the rain's going to stop. I went for another Zen Headbutt. I know it was a risky play. I could have gone for Fire Punch and stuff like that, but I didn't want to reveal that just yet. So out comes Regigigas. I can go for Drain Punch here. With Expert Belt, it's going to do an enormous amount of damage. So this Regigigas, to live this, is going to have to be very, very bulky build here. It's going to have to be max health. and the max defense or something like that. So I'm going to go for the Drain Punch here on the Regigigas, and it just narrowly lives. It was very, very close. So they're going to go for Drain Punch. That's not going to do a lot of damage with slow start. In effect, Regigigas is a little bit of a sitting duck, to say the least, then. At least until its slow start, wears off. So I know they're going to keep going for Protect there to try and, stall out my Deoxys and try and get slow start to happen. But even if, let's say for a second, even if they do try and stall me and they get Regigigas to slow start to wear off, Deoxys is a very, very fast Pokemon as well. So they're going to go double Protect. That was a risky play, but I guess they didn't have very much to lose there. And they've got one more turn until Regigigas is going to have its act together. But that is not going to be good enough because I can go for another Drain Punch at this turn. And the chance of them getting another Protect are, very slim to none, basically. So the Psychic Terrain is now gone. I guess they were stalling that out too. And Deoxys is going to be enough to finish off the Regigigas, which is very, very good. So we still have 3 Pokemon left because of course, my opponent brought all 6 Pokemon. Most people did. So that's the end of Regigigas. So pretty good so far. Next, we got Fluttermane, a very good counter on my team. Zen Headbutt is going to land. That is going to wipe Fluttermane out. So any Fluttermane, I completely dumpstered in every battle, unless I missed and stuff like that. There was a few battles I had where it missed, and Fluttermane could just press the A button. So it was pretty boring if I wasn't able to take Fluttermane out with this Deoxys here. So we've got Ogerpon, and it's going to have the Half Flame Mask. I did pretty good damage to it, but I was like, yeah, that's the best I can do. It's not like I can swap, right? So here comes the Ivy Cudgel. That's going to be able to easily take me out. The crit didn't matter. So I've got Deoxys D left. Now, the only problem with this is it's got a critting move. I can't set up Cosmic Powers. It's going to be too risky. So I pretty much here just have to attack it with Meteor Beam and take it out. So here comes the Ivy. That does a lot of damage, well over half. I went for Meteor Beam, and we're going to go for that Power Herb. And Meteor Beam is super effective as well, which is going to be very, very good. Now, I do have a decent chunk of my health back, but I don't have any Cosmic Powers up, which would have been very, very handy. So that's the end of Ogerpon. I'm very happy with how this battle's going. Look at the threats I've taken out there. Some crazy threats. And last Pokemon's Tinkaton. They're going to go for a Gigaton Hammer here, and they were pretty lucky that I wasn't able to set up a single Cosmic Power last turn, but a very good battle still. Pretty much there, I feel like I only lost that battle because they had more Pokemon and they had a good couple of counters there. Like Mimikyu basically took out 2 Pokemon and was a very good counter on my team. So I feel like I did the best I could possibly do there, and the opponent was pretty much always narrowly going to win by the skin of their teeth. Next battle here, this one is another random opponent. We've got a Iron Moth lead in. It's going to get a boost in its speed. Now, this is interesting. They're going to go for a Terra, little Timmy Terra first turn here. And I was thinking, what are they going to go into? Something to resist Psychic, I would say, and it's going to be Grass. Also, people, if you're enjoying the video, I want to support the channel. Make sure you hit that like button there. And if you haven't already, tell me what your favorite Deoxys form is. So it's going to set up Toxic Spike. So it surprised me a little bit. I thought they'd just go straight for the KO. Now, this was unfortunate. I missed Psycho Boost. I was like, oh, that sucks. However, I can go for the Mirror Coat this time, and I decided to do that. Fortunately, I went for an Energy Ball, so Deoxys' attack form is going to be able to take that out with ease. A lot of people do never, ever expect Mirror Coat and counter on Deoxys. It's a great little lead Pokemon. It's fast. This set is very, very versatile. Really takes people by surprise. And I said, normally you can take 1 to 2 Pokemon out. But so out comes Flutterlane. It's going to go for a Moonblast outspeeding me. So that's okay. We've got my one Deoxys that can take it out, which is Deoxys normal, and I've got Zen Headbutt, and even just a straight up Zen Headbutt with Jolly Nature max attack is going to be enough to take out Fluttermane, unless Fluttermane's got some bulk to it, right? I pretty much could take them out easily. So bye Fluttermanes. That's that. I mean, if I didn't have that, they could just press Shadow Ball and you'd be really, really lame, right? Next Pokemon's going to be Porygon Z. What I'm going to do here, I'm going to go for a Terra Fighting, because Porygon Z may be able to live a Drain Punch like super badly, and no way my Deoxys is going to be able to live that. So we're going to at least get that Porygon KO, right? So there's Drain Punch, and there goes Porygon Z. I'd say a Tri-Attack or a Shadow Ball or something like that was absolutely coming away, maybe even a Hive Beam, you know? So that's 3 Pokemon down. Things are going pretty nicely so far. Next Pokemon's going to be Baxcalibur. Like, that's going to get hit hard. So I went for Drain Punch. Bax Caliber gets rolled out like a lounger in rug. We've got 2 more Pokeball left there, people. Now, the next Pokeball was a very, very tanky Pokemon, and I wasn't really sure what I was going to do to it. I was like, I don't have a super effective move, at least on this, so it's going to be Hydrapple. So I can go for Drain Punch. Sure, I'll get some health back, but there's no way I'm fainting this, right? And as you can see, that's like, I want to say that's like a 4-hit KO almost. So this Hydrapple is going to probably attack me with like, I don't know, like Syrup Bomb or something like that. It's going to go for a Syrup Bomb, good damage. Obviously, Deoxys is very, very frail, so they don't have to really do too much damage there to me. So Syrup Bomb, another one's going to faint me this turn. So I thought, well, I guess I could try and go for Zen Headbutt here and get a flinch, you know? Even if I get that, that'll be nice. I can finish it off. And it's no flinch, and it's going to finish you off the Giga Drain. So that's the end of Deoxys. My Deoxys are normal there, but a quality performance there, did very, very well. So I've got two left. I was like, okay, we'll go into Deoxys Speed. So Deoxys Speed does have Ice Beam, and you know, with that's going to be enough to take it out because it's going to be 4 times weak, which is going to be very, very good. Ice Beam was just, having an Ice move was just handy. That's why I had Terra Ice on this for. So that's the end of Flapple. Last Pokemon, sorry, Hydrapple, not Flapple. Last Pokemon's going to be Sandaconda. So I'm like, ooh, I can go for Ice Beam here. So I went for Ice Beam on the Sandaconda. It just lives so close, and now it's going to go for a Earthquake on me, and I just lived there, which is very, very close too. Now Sandaconda's got the leftovers, and I'm also poisoned here. However, since that poison was not a bad poison, I managed to live on 3 health, and I'm going to finish him off here. And that is the end of the battle. I guess I would have fainted to Toxic and 1 more Pokeball left, but hope you enjoyed the Deoxys Forward team. It was really fun. Drop a like if you did, and I'll catch you next time. Peace out.